Now I'd like to call on one of those friends of the library, David Stevenson.
Well, thank you very much, Jimmy. It's wonderful to see ourselves here. This is us. And to realize that this did begin in 2005. One Saturday morning, Judy and I went into the library, and Bernadette Martin was on duty. Unfortunately, Bernadette also is at school today, so she's not able to be here. But Bernadette said, you know, it'd be great if we had a little more room. Oh, says David, what do we need to do? I want to thank Glenn. Glenn, you were there many days when we all needed you, but that next week or so, we put together a request. And some of you here today signed that request, being from one part of District 7 or the other, or the village of Tatamagouche per se. And we made the request to the library board, because once we found out what the procedure was, the library, the part inside this building that we are going to be using is the responsibility of the library board. So please, library board, would you consider, we'd like to have a little more space. And I think we recognize that this part over here is about the size of our wonderful library down the street. So, you know, we're blessed. We knew that when the council in committee met in Tatamagouche, we would be ready to embark upon some level of fundraising campaign. And so the Tatamagouche Library Support Committee, Jimmy, was put into place. Jimmy wants to call it the Friends of the Library. You are all friends of the library, aren't you? Yes, now that's what you mean, Jimmy, when you say that. We are the Friends of the Library. But the Tatamagouche Library Support Committee had a specific function, and I want to recognize the people who helped with those activities of getting letters out, and that was kind of a chain reaction. All right, let's get the letters signed and into the envelopes and addressed and stamped. Here are the people who got to work right away. Enid Campbell. Enid, thank you. Bill Buck. Judy Ferguson. Marilyn Driver. And Keith Ferguson. We carried your wish for more library space to the way that everyone in this area who felt they could make a contribution would be able to help make what we have here today. We didn't build the building, but we helped put the new books into place. That was the role that we had as a community committee. And right away, things started to happen which are very interesting in our community. As we told you in our weekly and monthly newspapers of how the campaign was going, the contributions came in and $40,000 was raised. We were looking for 25. That seemed to be a pretty reasonable number, but no, 40. One of the people who newly arrived in our area, living in Malagash, so not inside that boundary line, you know, that line on the road that causes all kinds of problems, and Jimmy has to have it there, but in terms of those of us who live on either side of the line, this is our market community. This is our service community, and the people of Malagash were very helpful. We had Grace Holmes, newly arrived in the area with her family, a high school student looking for a project. She decided that she would have an evening She had a book sale, she had artists create pictures for the occasion, there was auction, and she raised $1,000. Who said that young people can't? You know, let them know what the project is, and they're there. And she had many, many young people helping her. I also want to mention Morley Bentley and Megan McCullough. Megan, you're handy here somewhere. I saw you. I didn't see Morley. But both these people came forward with monies that had been raised as part of other projects or organizations and said, we're not going to be using these funds for the purpose. It's all finished, so let's put it in the library. I also want to make sure that you understand two of the people in this community who have been with us on project after project, activity after activity, and that's Alan McKinnon and Joanne McKinnon. You know them from our drugstore, C.G. Fulton, and they quietly support so much in our community, and they were a major support as we began the fundraising effort. So I want to particularly note our thanks to them. There was a gentleman who came through this area several times in the summer, and Janet Pelly, you would be able to fill me in on the detail in this, and I'm not as concerned about the detail as the idea. Someone stops into our wonderful little building and is received with the kind of open arms our community is. Oh, what can we do for you, says Glenn. Well, I'm delighted, says the man. And when he went back home, he sent a contribution to the new library. But it wasn't just once. He did it again and again. And this has made a very nice story about the way that people of our area treat people who come to visit. And that thanks to us was, I'm going to make it easier for you to raise your money. And he helped. I left for last of this group of people a particular situation which we are delighted about in our area. On Main Street, I suppose on our main corner where the post office and the library met the bank, we have an excellent sense of community spirit that resides within the Bank of Nova Scotia. There are not many of us who would miss that come the fine weather. There's almost always something happening outside the doors on a Friday. There is fundraising for something or other. And this library, our campaign, was taken on as one of the main efforts of Scotiabank during that time. Janet, where are you? No, not that. Yeah, I like you too, but Janet Companion, where is she hiding? Hiding somewhere. Well, I saw her come in.
She's probably fundraising down at the
Yes,
bank.
so dividends are important. We've had two managers during the time when our library has been in development and now open. First was George Semple, who began what has happened through the bank, and Janet Companion has continued. And what the bank typically does is says, we'll take your organization on, you'll have this activity, you'll raise an amount of money, we'll match it. Well, the staff in the branch went that much further for the library. They had the book sale inside for quite a period of time. The mock jail stood outside on one weekend, and woe be to all of us who got caught and spent time in that jail and had to be ransomed. The money went into this library, so we'll do it again if we have to, and every one of you will be there. The campaign by the bank was wonderful. And we're certainly delighted with all the support and all the support that you as individuals gave to this campaign through that particular avenue. It's made a big difference. David Swan, you've been mentioned once, going to mention you again. We have a line of electric vehicles out here now. There's a reason for that. David Swan came back to the community, having been away for some years, and brought his electric vehicles with him. And now Chuck and Annette Hunziger have a little one out there too. And then there's the one that's very nicely decorated with the Colchester-Cumberland Windfield and so on. Oh, I digress. But we have the future sitting out there as we have a future in here. It's breezy today. All of Tatamagouche is powered by the turbines on Spittle Hill, Marshville, and Nutley. We are completely wind powered. When we began the idea of what would this building be like, geothermal heating, maybe a wind turbine out there and solar panels on the roof. Well, we didn't quite get all of that, but we did get some turbines on Nutley. They're doing well. I want to thank you ever so much. It's so wonderful for us, our community, the community that encompasses the village of Tatamagouche with its chair, and where's the chair, Mike Gregory? Thank you for keeping the community in good shape, and for those of us who live otherwise in District 7, Mr. Councillor, keep up the roads and talk to your friends. We like being able to move around easily. Yeah, like it's your fault, isn't it? This is a wonderful day to see the children in the children's area, and you can move around them. As compared to in the wonderful little building where if you sat to work at the computers, heaven help you if you need a reference book. No, that's all. And last, I want to express to the councillors the level of appreciation, Mr. Mayor, that will be going on for some time. We started with what we thought was a modest proposal. Could we have a little more room? Well, when Janet Pelly found out what the standards were, about 3,000 square feet, thereabouts, for a district our size, our population, we didn't expect we'd get another 900 square feet. But we didn't expect the price was going to be what it was either. But we solved this problem. Some of the interior is a little different than the hope when we first looked at pictures. But we've all pitched in now in District 7, and we are all contributing to the erection, the use, the taking care of this library through a penny or two on our tax rate. And this means that everyone who has a chance to use it, everyone has a chance to contribute to it. And those who wish to contribute a little more, that's always welcome. And I'm sure the Library Foundation will be more than delighted to receive continuing contributions from our area for years to come. And we thank not just the council and the councillors today and the councillors from the previous sitting before the elections. And there's some new councillors, and there are differences of opinion as time goes on. I also want to express to the many people who are here from the various branches and the main office of the library system in Truro. Janet, you and Leslie Brand have been wonderful partners with us. Crawford, it's be difficult to see this building here and in the shape that it's in without the many hours of effort you gave on our behalf and you had nothing else to do during that time, as it's been alluded to. I can expect it was true. These projects become all-consuming. But thank you, everyone. We're going to enjoy this immensely. We already are. It's ours. Thank you so much.